The throne room of the Velkari Empire fell silent as Princess Lyra Ten's crystalline voice echoed through the vaulted chamber. Her four luminescent eyes blinked in perfect innocence as she gazed up at her mother, Queen Seralix, whose bioluminescent patterns flickered in shock across her translucent skin. "You want what?" the queen breathed, her vocal harmonics trembling with disbelief. "I want the frightening human to tuck me in tonight," Lyra Ten repeated, her small clawed hands clasped together hopefully. "Captain Ward, he tells the best stories." The court erupted in a cacophony of chittering and alarmed pheromone releases. Captain Elias Ward, the very name that had become synonymous with terror across 3 star systems. The human whose tactical brilliance had decimated the Korthax invasion fleet. The soldier whose reputation preceded him like a shockwave, turning battle-hardened warriors into quivering masses of fear. And this child wanted him as her bedtime companion. Queen Seralix felt her 3 hearts racing in asynchronous rhythm. The peace negotiations with Earth had been delicate, fragile as spun glass. Captain Ward's presence aboard her flagship was meant to be symbolic, a show of human military might, a reminder of what awaited any who violated the treaty. He was supposed to remain in the military wing, a specter that kept potential aggressors in line. He was not supposed to be befriending her daughter. Lyra Ten, "Sweetling," the queen began carefully, lowering herself to the child's level. "Captain Ward is a very busy warrior. He has important duties." "He already said yes," Lyra Ten interrupted, her antennae perking up cheerfully. "I asked him yesterday during the garden walk. He said he'd be honored." The queen's bioluminescence went completely dark, the Velkari equivalent of a stunned expression. Her chief advisor, General Thexil, approached with evident concern. "Your Majesty, perhaps we should reconsider this arrangement," the general said quietly. "The human is dangerous, unpredictable. His species is known for—" "I know what his species is known for," Queen Seralix snapped, then softened her tone. She looked down at her daughter's hopeful face. "Lyra Ten, why would you want someone so frightening near you at bedtime?" The princess tilted her head, genuinely confused. "But Mama, he's not frightening at all. He's kind. Yesterday he helped me reach the star blossoms in the upper gardens. And he knows stories about Earth, about animals called dogs and cats that live with humans as friends. He promised to tell me about something called a golden retriever tonight." The queen exchanged glances with her advisors. None of them knew what to make of this information. An hour later, Queen Seralix found herself standing outside her daughter's chambers, her personal guard flanking her with weapons at the ready. She had reluctantly agreed to allow this experiment, but only under her direct supervision. Captain Elias Ward arrived precisely on time, his military uniform immaculate, his posture respectful. He was tall by human standards, which made him absolutely massive compared to the Velkari. His face bore the scars of countless battles, and his eyes held the weight of decisions that had shaped the fate of worlds. He also carried a worn datapad and what appeared to be a small stuffed animal, something soft and brown with floppy ears. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing with practiced diplomacy, "thank you for permitting this. I promise Lyra Ten will be asleep within the standard hour." The queen's patterns flickered with uncertainty. "Captain Ward, I must ask, why would you agree to this? You are a soldier, a tactician. This is hardly appropriate for someone of my rank." Ward's weathered face softened with an expression the queen had never seen from him, a gentle smile. "Your Majesty, I have a daughter back on Earth. She's about Lyra Ten's age. I haven't been able to tuck her in for 3 years because of this war." His voice grew quieter. "When the princess asked me, I couldn't say no. I hope you understand." The queen's bioluminescence shifted to warm amber, understanding tinged with sadness. She gestured toward the chamber doors. Inside, Princess Lyra Ten sat on her sleeping platform, practically vibrating with excitement. "Captain Ward, you came! And you brought Mr. Whiskers." Ward chuckled, handing her the stuffed animal. "I thought you might like to meet him. He's been with me through a lot of missions. Very brave, this one." As the queen watched from the doorway, something remarkable unfolded. The fearsome human warrior sat cross-legged beside her daughter's platform, his voice gentle as he spoke of Earth's animals, of forests and oceans, of a blue sky that the princess had never seen. He showed her pictures on his datapad, Images of the golden retriever he'd promised, a creature with kind eyes and a wagging tail. On Earth, Ward explained softly, we have a saying, not all who guard are fierce to those they protect. Your mother keeps you safe because she loves you. My job is to keep many safe by being what others fear, but that doesn't mean I forget how to be gentle. Lyra Ten's eyes were already beginning to close, her small body relaxing into the sleeping platform. Will you tell me more tomorrow? She murmured sleepily. If your mother permits it, Ward replied, carefully adjusting the thermal blanket around her. Sleep well, little princess. Dream of golden retrievers. As the child drifted into sleep, Ward stood and approached the queen, who had been silently observing everything. Your Majesty, he said quietly, I know my reputation. I know what I represent to your people, but if this war taught me anything, it's that we're all just trying to protect what we love. Maybe that's where peace really begins, not in treaties or negotiations, but in moments like this. Queen Soralix looked at the sleeping form of her daughter, then at the battle-scarred human before her. Her bioluminescence shifted through a complex pattern, respect, gratitude, and hope intermingled. Captain Ward, she said finally, you are welcome in my daughter's chambers any evening you wish. And perhaps tomorrow you might share some of those pictures of your own daughter. I suspect Lyra Ten would like to meet her, even if only through images. The fierce human warrior's eyes glistened with unexpected emotion. I would be honored, Your Majesty. As Ward left the royal chambers, the Queen's advisors gathered, still bewildered by what they'd witnessed. General Thexel spoke the thought they all shared. Perhaps humans are not frightening because they are fierce, but because they can be both fierce and gentle, and we never know which we'll encounter. The Queen's patterns glowed with warm certainty. No, General. They're frightening because they remind us that strength without compassion is merely brutality, and they refuse to choose just one. In the days that followed, word spread throughout the Velkari court. The terrifying human soldier tucked the princess in each night, sharing stories of a distant blue world. And somehow, the peace treaty felt more solid than any military deterrent ever could, because everyone understood now. Humans protected what they loved with unmatched ferocity. And they had just expanded their circle of protection to include one small alien princess who wasn't afraid to ask for a bedtime story.